Hello, welcome to Lion War. Today we have Haako versus KrazyFlyinChicken. Now we're going to call this last guy KFC. Haako is in the top left. He has gone straight into 2 Navy yards, and KrazyFlyinChicken is over here. He's gone to 1-8 Navy yard and he's gone for a airfield. Barracks to help him with expanding. I think KFC is going to find his island covered completed faster than Haako. Partly because of how small his island is, but it's also in kind of a line, so it'll be easier for him to take over. Whereas Haako does have much more land on his island before he needs to cross to another one. But it's interesting to know how close they actually are to each other. They're only this far away from each other. So Haako has also gone for an airfield, he's gone for energy, and a barracks. And it won't be too long until they spot each other, because Haako has sent a line on haste mode straight down towards KrazyFlyinChicken's Navy Yard without knowing. It's like he's psychic in this game. Whereas KFC is going straight into transports and he's going to try and cross the land. I very much doubt Haako is going to be able to intercept this before it happens. He still needs to produce his boats, but he is producing attack ships. By the looks of it, these are missile ships, I think. Hard to tell from this way. No, they're destroyers. Sorry, I was wrong. They are destroyers and they are on their way. I think Hako's predicted he's going to start somewhere central, so that's where he's gone there. And what is he going to do? He's built a barracks next to this, so I was assuming he might go for commandos a bit later on. He's stopped production on his barracks already. And he has enough energy to fund haste mode with his navy at the minute. And KFC can't see this yet, but I'm sure it won't be long until he spots it. Yeah, they're coming into range now. There we go. KFC can spot this. What's he going to do to respond? He has 1 striker. And another one nearly built, and he's got a missile ship coming, but it looks like Haako is going to get his ships there to be able to do some damage, but I don't think they're going to be enough after this missile ship gets built and the striker does what he does. But KFC has managed to explore the map. He's pulling his transport boat back as far as he can for now, so that he can deal with these destroyers. So we've got 1 destroyer versus 2 destroyers versus 1 missile ship and a striker. And I think Haako has literally targeted it because he just wants to get rid of it. I think is his point, and he's going to try and run away as soon as it's gone, because the strike command takes priority. Apparently not priority over this command, but Haako does know where KFC is, and due to how fast that was, I'm sure KFC has a good idea of where Haako is. After launching that attack, it looks like Haako is going for an expanse. I'm assuming he's going to go straight across over here. He's actually trying to put them straight in the water, so they'll get on the boat and then just stay in the water for a bit, so that way he can maneuver where they go a bit easier. And he's going to bring them down here. But that destroyer is going down. It has gone down. That strike command's been left there. I don't know if he plans to do much with that now. He's going to bring up here and he's going to block off this area by the looks of it. And there's people who are trying to get on the boat there. Got 1, 2, and they're off. It looks like Haako has nearly controlled his whole island now. He's pretty much got units everywhere. One thing he could do, probably not at this point in the game, but maybe a little later on, is get a navy yard here and try and get 1 transport boat to take them across, just to capture this territory. It would be worth the eco. You can always destroy the navy yard and the transport afterwards as well. Got his helicopters in the air. Just bringing them down here, I think, to clear the fields there. Haako is... No, KFC is up here trying to get to this island. This island is going to be right between them both as well, so getting this island early would probably be quite a wise idea. And if he can control the sea, he's got a trade route right here and here, if he can control that. Doesn't look like there's much else going on there. But we've got another navy yard here with the energy well fairly defendable there. But from what I understand, KFC is moving this way when Haako is moving his transport boats in the same area. And I think it's been spotted. I think KFC is going to try and get Haako's transport there. But it's moving too fast, and I don't think it's going to be in range anymore by the time the strikers get there. I think it's going to miss that just a bit. He has set up a new command, but they're just too close to the transport boat. I think, oh no, the striker is going to go move out. That transport boat was a risky tactic, but if it did work, it would have worked out well. But it is going to get taken out. I think it's going to land. You got one unit out, one out of the two. So one unit's managed to survive that landing. KFC knows that this is Haako trying to just pick a hole in his defense and try and see where he's going. So I'm sure KFC is going to be trying to scout out a lot more at this point. Certainly needs to know everything Haako's doing now. But it might be that Haako has limited himself too much because he's been focused more on trying to get a foothold on the KrazyFlyinChicken, and instead has pretty much left himself exposed now because he's just stuck on this island. He does have the ability to expand still, but KFC is here and on this main island. So Haako is going to have to fight to get some more territory, whereas KFC's still got some more land to expand to in general. Looks like he's building up some forces, probably to try and take this out again. He's got an interceptor, he's just coming over to try and do some damage there by the looks of it. He's got the helicopters coming in now. I heard a commando. Yeah, that's right. So he's placed the barracks right next to this early on, knowing that he's going to use commandos with the transports to get around. And that'll give him a lot of range. That transport could probably take him over to this island as well. Which Haako can see that this is already owned by KFC. It's a good job Haako's name isn't McDonald's or something, isn't it? We get a bit confused. Battle between the food restaurants. We've got a transport boat straight off straight through this fleet here, and I think that's probably going to get taken out quite easily. How did KFC ended up doing that? And he's using all C units commands, and I think that's what's messed him up there for that transport boat. But these C units are supported by the strikers, but because they're cruisers, those missile ships aren't going to do much damage to them. Not nearly enough to get rid of these cruisers. And the strikers, the cruisers can strike the air units, just not very well. It's not their primary focus. And these cruisers are just walking through enemy territory as if they've got no care in the world. And I think they're going to target this structure here. Got another cruiser here though, so these aren't going to survive against this fleet. But I think Haako's objective is to try and take out this here, and that's all he wants to do really. He is going to pull his units away. So Haako is now on the retreat over in that section. We've got some air units protecting here. We've got no energy whatsoever, but this transport is still going to try and fly to his objective, which is over here. However, he ran out of energy and it's fallen back now, unfortunately. So Haako has enough money. He probably should, at this point, try and get some power plants going on, somewhere over here or up there. Anywhere a bit more defendable, because it doesn't look like he's got any extra energy wells. Which is unfortunate for Haako. Cruisers went back in by the looks of it, they've gone. Well, they probably couldn't run away actually with the energy requirements. Haako's trying to find another energy well, so he's gone up there. I assume that's why he's doing that one. Got some submarines on the battlefield. They're going to do some easy scouting because KFC won't be able to see that. The submarines are stealth, so there's a submarine around this area. And he's just walking by one. Looks like this transport is being shot by one. You saw the circle of water come through. And I know there's a second one coming through over here. Both of these players are ecoing up. So we've got KFC here, who's got his town being built up here. And is he building anywhere else? No, not yet. However, Haako, I had spotted, he is building up a town and his industries. Both of these players are playing for the long game, as you can probably see by the length of this video anyway. So he's placing the submarines here, hoping to catch any units that come out one by one over there. KFC is moving his navy up towards this area. He's trying to catch the territory, which will help with his eco. And it looks like he's bringing his infantry up here, so he's got the transports coming up. He's got a plan in mind. I don't know what his plan is yet. Let's have a look at their eco while we wait. So, we have KFC with 644 now, every minute. And Haako has 638, so they're pretty equal. Despite Haako being a bit behind in territory, and I think that's why he's decided to eco up, because he knows he can't expand. So he can no longer expand. He's going to try and increase his eco with towns and cities, industry, which he has a lot of. It's only if he can really defend it. Got a transport coming over there, which KFC can only just about see. If he managed to put it over here, this would have been taken without KFC's knowing. But KFC is doing an extremely good job of getting around this entire map and taking as much land as possible. Now he's putting up a front line here so that he can bring his units across here safely. Even if they engage and he loses this fight, he gets some units here and he can take this land. It will be good for his eco in the long run. Bringing in his air units. Trying to support this battle, but they've retreated, so he's retreating. And it looks like KFC is going to take this island for himself as well. But Haako has sneakily put an energy well up here, which I don't know if it is built yet because it's in the fog of war, so we'll have a look from this point of view. No, it's not built yet, but there is a ship there to defend it. It will be built soon. And he's snuck that in behind KFC, but KFC has spotted it, because you can see these through the fog of war. It's kind of like reverse stealth. So you can see him at much greater distances. But KFC's noticed he's sending one unit up there, thinking it's undefended. That's going to be a bit interesting there. Although this area is great for the economy, it's not going to be good to hold it off, because they're going to have the air units coming in and striking it quite often. We have another transport ship trying to sneak in. How much land is there left to grab over here? So we've got a little bit over there. One there and some on the sea for territory. That's about it, really. The KFC spotted this. Oh, he's got a missile there. I wonder if Haako can see that. Haako can see this. He's sent in his commandos to try and destroy it all of a sudden. I don't really think they're going to be successful, but they could be. I mean, they are going to focus on the structure. It is pretty much on whether he can take the commandos out quick enough. Up here we have the cruiser trying to destroy this energy well whilst being fired at by one destroyer. And the destroyer can easily... No, the cruiser can easily destroy the destroyer. But he was targeting the energy well, so it was... The destroyer was getting 3 hits on that cruiser there. It looks like KFC has managed to defend his missile. And he's going back for the energy well up here. But obviously Haako has to deal with that missile. Otherwise the missile is going to really harm Haako's development, especially with the economy. I'm pretty sure he's going to destroy this, but I don't know if he's going to easily be able to destroy the destroyer afterwards. Because of the amount of free shots the destroyer's getting on the cruiser. Nonetheless, I do think that energy well has gone now. The cruiser's going to fire at the destroyer. I don't know which one's going to win that, because even though it's a one-on-one, that cruiser's really weak now. There we go, it's gone. So the cruiser managed to win this. We have a bit of a bigger fight going on down here. And KFC is really trying to move his units out the way as fast as he can. And he keeps on drawing them back, and this cruiser, one of his most powerful units here, is going to get taken out as it lags behind his other units. But this is his chance to get this destroyer as it's off straight away from the other guys. We've got air units coming in to distract KFC. But I don't think KFC is too worried about these infantry units right now. And now we have this cruiser that's sort of lagging behind. We have a barracks in this area as well, so I don't know what he's planning to do here. We've got helicopters following these air units as well. Let's check from Haako's side of it. So, Haako is trying to stop the progress on this island for at least a little while, so I'm assuming he's planning to try and take it over. And we have some interceptors coming in over this area to try and take away the air units. There we go, they're gone. Haako has forced the navy of KFC back a bit. His submarines have snuck round the back, so his submarines are over here if you remember. And they've come around here, snuck round the back and taken out one of the navy pens without KFC noticing. But I also have noticed that KFC has managed to put his units, transport, through these submarines without the submarines taken out. There we go. Haako is losing these subs now because they just couldn't escape from that army. But now we've got a sizable fleet here. And KFC's sizable fleet there, which is pretty much just missile ships. However, KFC has a lot more energy than Haako does. So if Haako tries to attack with lack of energy, which is still going down, so he must be running something somewhere. He's got his helicopters over here and jet. And we've got some sea units coming down. Haako has managed to take over this little island here, which does give him access to a trade route, but it's an extremely risky one. And in fact, he doesn't control the other side. I thought it was coming up here. But it does give him some more eco potential. He has managed to stop that transport. Some air units sneaking around the back. I'm assuming if they're going up there, they're probably going straight for a airstrip. Are they? No. They're just trying to check out the area. I think that's just a scout, really. Probably to take out the helicopter that was trying to guard this area. See, if KFC was to put like a navy yard up here, he might be able to sneak some of this infantry unit over the top. That would be quite funny to see. These missile ships are in range to fire at these, but none of them are going to be able to destroy it. Just if they were moved over slightly, that would have taken some out maybe. But it looks like Haako is going to move in. Can you see the army there? He can. So he's just trying to get good range, see what's going on, assess what he's going to do. But I think this airfield is vulnerable to cruiser hits. And he's also struggling with energy still, so that's why he's not attacking right now. I think he's just holding off there. Now Haako is really trying to get to this airfield. The launch site there to try and take it out. I don't know if he can reach that with a cruiser. Pretty sure that he can't. Especially not when he's under fire from strikers, but there is only two, and a missile ship there might be able to take it out. Especially when they're focusing on other things. It does look like they're focused on those. We have the transport ship coming down a bit further. It's not really that far away, but I assume maybe for extra production of them. So Haako has decided to build some power plants up here, and he's got some storage there just to help build it up when he's not using it. So Haako is trying to distract these infantry. I may be assuming that he's going to try and take them out and then bring his commandos in when there's no infantry here. But that is going to be way too late. This rocket is nearly built, and Haako is well in range of that. I think KFC might strike over this area to get rid of the production in the sea. Or maybe try and take out the airfields, but he can't see them yet. He hasn't managed to get much eyes on Haako to know where his stuff is. Might be worth just one quick scout over there just to see what's going on before he fires that nuke, so he can get the maximum damage out of it. KFC is losing a lot of these infantry units over here. He probably could do with pulling them back a little. Take a little less losses, maybe add a factory for anti-air because the helicopter's coming in. But he's definitely got enough interceptors for that anti-air, and these ships are about to have a nice little fight. And Haako, if I remember, he was struggling with energy, so retreating from this might not be an option for him soon. Especially while he's moving these helicopters. This rocket is firing, so we've got these missile ships that are going to try and take it out, but I don't think they're going to do enough damage. Got a navy battle that they're both having to try and fight over. Haako is probably struggling with this more so because he's trying to prepare for this rocket that's coming over. And it looks like I was right, he is going to try and go for this area, which is going to take out the infantry that was trying to go across to this island as well. He didn't manage to take out the energy well, and he only took out one navy field, which does surprise me. I thought he'd take out both of those, but he didn't. It looks like those cruisers can shoot this rocket site, which is unfortunate, but at least KrazyFlyinChicken managed to fire it and get the value out of it, but it has gone now, so KFC is going to have to build another one if he wants it. I don't think that rocket was any sort of game-changing move yet, but it has slowed the production from Haako. And Haako has now lost his navy over there as well. Let's have a look at their eco, because one's focused more on actual buildings. So he's got 860 from Haako, who's trying to build up his eco with structures. And then from KFC, he is on 962 per minute. And he has tried to do a bit of ecoing up, but his is mostly through territory gain. Yep, there we go. Looks like we got some sneaky submarine activity. Some commandos are dropped on KFC's main island, so he's having to deal with that with some infantry units. If you spread this line out a bit thinner, they might arrive a bit faster to shoot them, kill him a bit quicker, so he'd take a few less losses. But Haako is trying to increase his presence with commandos, trying to place units down all over the map, trying to distract KFC, I think. So now I can't see them, even though they're right next to this army, because they're stealthed and it's a forest and mountain area. It is going to be a lot harder for Haako to get them in there. To be spotted in there. He's going to bring some more in by the looks of it, or is that... No, that's aircraft. That's the interceptors to try and help those guys over there, or to expect a response from these guys. He's placed it here because he's expecting the aircraft to come in this way. That's why he's only got interceptors there, and his helicopters here. Keeps everything protected. That's quite a smart way of doing things. What is going on there with the helicopter? I don't know if that was intentional. I think that was meant for these guys, but I could be wrong. May have missed something there. The interceptors are trying to take on these ships, which is not a good idea. They are not designed to take out ships. It looks like he's going to lose one for that. So KFC has managed to keep control over this island for now, but Haako is taking it over. He did lose that initial engagement, and even though there's only about 3 commandos left there, they might actually be able to take this out with the support of the aircraft. KFC is trying to build up his units on the coastline right now, and I think that's mostly for extra vision. The bigger your unit size gets, the farther your field of view is. The more units he'll place here, the further he can see. Oh, I've nearly missed that then. He's brought his ships down that were attacking the rocket up here, so they brought them down here to try and take out some structures, and it looks like he's taken out the energy. One of 2 energy wells. those cruisers have quite a lot of range that was unexpected, and there's some submarines hiding around these areas, which is definitely going to make KFC a bit more hesitant when progressing in these waters. And submarines are great for hit and runs, so they launch a lot of firepower at the beginning, just like helicopters do. And then you can bring them back in to try and strike again. Can KFC see that he's been followed? I don't think he can. Those submarines are going to come back right behind him. And Haako is going to easily be able to destroy that barracks without having to worry about anything right now. He's got his submarines following them behind. He's shooting them there. I think he's going to leave them there for a bit. So what is Haako doing? So he's got more submarines coming out. He's still producing those. And he is definitely focused on trying to get some commandos to gain more territory over time now instead. And that one infantry unit is being shot at, but he doesn't know where from. He's just walking through the woods, and someone's shooting at him, and he can't see him. And I think KFC's noticed that they're in there. He's got this line now coming through. These units are coming down. And KFC has built another rocket, but he's built it again right next to the coast. I'd probably have tried to avoid the coast, maybe right in this section here. I don't know if that would be far enough. I mean, that was the range of a cruiser, so... Can he? I think that would be about safe. Either way, it's better there than right on the edge. So he's building his energy well back up there, so he's got the energy to fire this rocket soon. He's already paid for it, so we just got to wait for the time for it to build. And Haako is really trying to poke holes in the defense of KFC. Just trying to find any weakness and do as much damage with what units he has. Is that a town or is that a city? It looks like a bit big for a town, but it might be on a mountain, so... So, Haako has spotted these units on the coastline there, and he's trying to take them out to gain back his stealth. So that KFC can't see him as well anymore. We've got another little army over there. Let's have a look. Navy fleet. And it's not that little. He's got a lot of submarines there and one cruiser. I think that's a destroyer. I can't tell. Oh no, that is a cruiser as well. It's got the two turrets at the front. So, Haako has some interesting plans now. He's got some units coming down into the mountains here, which KFC might not be able to see. He's got some units there. You'll see the boats coming in, but you might not see them in the mountains. And we've got KFC. He's going to bring his units across this area to get this island back. When has Haako got his transports coming in? He's got 2 transports bringing some units down. He has managed to take out all the units in this area now, which will decrease the view. But he has replaced them with these Navy units here, so they're going to quite easily do well there. Especially on this choke point that's coming in like a funnel, so it's going to they're going to be able to shoot more at a time than Haako is. That is a great place to hold a defense. He's built a factory there. I think he's going for SAM units to take out the infantry, but still have a use to have them over here anyway. And can Haako see that he's got another rocket? He hasn't found the other rocket, so those guys are going to be in for a surprise later on. I think that's what KFC's doing. KFC's building his line here, waiting for his rocket to be built, and he's going to fire it straight at these units. But Haako is out of energy once again. That's the problem with using power plants and relying on them. They're great because you can build them whenever you want and wherever you want, but they're only half the effectiveness. They only produce half the amount of electric than an actual energy well will, but still cost the same amount of money. But looks like Haako isn't going to be able to do that right now. That rocket is ready by the looks of it, so that can fire at any moment. And if I was KFC, I'd be firing it here at this area. Get rid of all these units, send in your units, try and take out the production, and then you control the sea. It's not always as simple as that, but that's how I like to think of it anyway. The KFC is dealing with some submarines by air, which is not actually a bad way to do it. They can't fight back. You just turn in the tables on them. That rocket has been fired. I do like a good rocket. What does Haako see? Because Haako can't see anything right now. He has no idea until that. Rocket fires over the edge. And that's going to hit. There's no way he's going to shoot that down. Unless he's going straight over the top, which he is. Why are you shooting over there? Okay, he managed to still get the hit in there. But he's only going to damage some structures. And a few units. You should have fired at this area here. In my opinion, I suppose. I mean, tell me if you guys think otherwise. But he did manage to take out the production. The energy. Actually. So I can see his point. I can see the energy being a vital structure. However, I'd rather have destroyed these guys so they can't shoot back at me. I could always have taken out that energy well with the cruisers afterwards. Trying to see what else is going on. Haako's got quite a wide line of these structures, so pretty much all over his area now. And he's pretty much focused only on sea units. And if he keeps up that output, he will outnumber KFC later on in the game, despite KFC having more income than him. There we go, so KFC wasn't able to push against these sea units here. But the sea units, without the energy, are not able to push back either, so... KFC's bringing his strikers in. I think he's hoping that's within range. And they'll start trailing off that way, which they are. And they do have some anti-air there. It looks like there's a missile... that's a destroyer, sorry. And we've got the cruisers, so they don't have much anti-air there. So these strikers are going to do a lot of damage. And if they come for the interceptors, we've got a missile ship here, which won't do too much, but the more he's got there, the better it will be. Haako's plan is to take over this island, that's what he's focused on doing mostly. And to push back KFC at the same time. With any amount of energy he can squeeze out of his production. But these strikers are pretty unchallenged. They got a couple of SAM rounds, but it's not going to be enough. The interceptors are coming in. Interceptor. And he took out one striker. That's good for Haako. But it's going to have to return due to no energy. And they can also be shot down by strikers, so... It looks like Haako's put his units here to try and protect his ground units from attack from sea. And we have a commando that's sneaking up over here. I think that's a commando. Yeah, it sounds like one. And I think he's going to take out that structure all on his own. Yes, he is. He is a lone wolf up there. I think KFC missed that, otherwise he could have stopped that from happening. And although I think KFC had a great start at the beginning, he expanded the entire map, but he's losing control over certain parts of it, slowly but surely over time. And Haako has taken back the control over his and trying to secure it as best as possible. There is a submarine firing at this cruiser here and they're doing nothing about it because KFC doesn't even know it's there. You can hear it and you can see a sort of particle effect there. But that's about as much as you're getting from that. Now how many navy yards have they got? So KFC's got 5. Got 5 navy yards and it looks like he's setting up a trade route. That should boost his economy greatly. So it looks like KFC is going to have a really big boost in economy after this. And right now he's at 1,000 per minute and Haako is at just under 1,000 per minute. So Haako's managed to keep up even though being behind. And he's bringing his units in to try and take out those areas. Haako's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 production of navy yards. And a sub-pen, so Haako is just slightly above KFC when it comes to unit production in the sea. So we've got these units coming down here. They was trying to, KFC was trying to take back this area of the island. And again, he's slowly losing it. We've got the production of a Sam. Oh, there's the rocket coming over. He actually went for the units this time. But I think Haako moved them just in time. I think he spotted that rocket just before I did. And KFC's idea is to try and push back through. They're struggling with energy once again. But all of these units pretty much are now weakened and they've got to fight this fleet here. So KFC might be pretty good at holding that off. Or pushing against them. There we go, the cruiser's going to take out the other cruiser. These are all weakened ships now. And I think KFC is going to be able to take them out. But Haako is bringing in some reinforcements and they might be able to hold better defense here now with some of these extra units in there. The strikers are coming in, but I'm not sure they're in range. They should peel off. There we go, but they are backed by some SAM. No, they're not. They're gone too. The helicopters are going to shoot down the strikers. Shot down 2 already. I think helicopters are probably better than interceptors at this point, especially when they first come in. Helicopters seem to be a must-have in these tournament-style games. That guy's going to go down as well, I think. Yep. And he's got a cruiser he could take on, but I think that's a bit too far away. And the interceptor's going to take out the helicopters. There's a counter for everything in this game, and both players are trying to use their counters as best they can. Ooh, we've got some sea units coming in through the south. I think KFC is going to easily take over that section until Haako reinforces it with something. And KFC's trying to get his units over here, so he's bringing in some units to take over this island, just to get that a little bit closer to Haako. And there's another rocket being built. Haako has decided to not use the rockets at all in this game. At least thus far, anyway. I don't know if he plans to later. I think he's going to avoid them. Rockets are quite risky, though, because you pay a thousand for your first rocket, so you get 500 for the launch site and then 500 for a rocket. And if you miss, that's pretty much 1,000 wasted. Or if it gets destroyed, it's literally just gone. So they are a risky thing to try and build. It's entirely your choice depending on the situation on whether you should be doing that. KFC losing that section, or is it just... Yeah, he is. So Haako's got a ship that snuck off up here to try and take this territory off him. And this is going to be the last structure on here for KFC. And it's going to go down to the helicopters by the looks of it. It seems like no one was dedicated enough to try and take over this island. They just sort of agreed that that's your end of the island, this is my end for a while. Just stayed there for a bit. We do have more units coming in to back up this area. I thought I could hear something. We got these units that are being attacked from both sides. The submarines are in the backside, so then they're going to like destroy them on the retreat or just destroy them there. And it looks like Haako's going to try and retake this island over here with the commandos via this aircraft. This missile ship might get a few hits on it, unless it goes down to these subs first. Which I don't know, I think it's going to fire. But it's not going to do anything, they're still going to... I don't think it actually fired, but... It's not like it was going to destroy them anyway at this point, so we've got some activity going on up here, and it looks like transport ships are going... jets are going down. Haako is putting pressure on KFC. He's trying to make an advantage over here. We have a cruiser that's still up here as well from the old attack, I think, and he's going to try and defend this area. The attack there didn't last too long, unfortunately, for Haako. on KFC's side of it, we've got another rocket launch. So, okay, let's go back to Haako just to see where it goes. I like to see it from the side of it. You can see it quite early, to be honest. That is going to come in. Where is it going to go? Probably this area. And that's hit there again. It's going to take out the energy, once again, of Haako. But I think he's gaining enough power plants to be able to take that hit quite easily. And it's not really a viable strategy because you're losing 500 for the rocket. And I think the only thing he destroyed was the energy well. And maybe a structure up there. So, the energy well costs about, I can't remember, 200? 300 or something? Compared to a rocket, it's just not a good trade. Anyway, let's have a look at the other side. So we've got KFC, who should have a trade route set up now. Yes, he's got these structures. And the ship's going to and from. He's just got to defend it long enough to make it worth its while. Well, the rocket's building once again, so he spent another 500 here before he can use it. If these ships successfully take out this area and take out that rocket, then that's just 500 that KFC has lost. He's got the aircraft supporting now, so those units probably won't last much longer. Looks like KFC is able to defend this area. What's going on down here? We've got some ships trying to take back this island. The commandos are in this area, and KFC's got an airstrip there. There's no units on it, though. However, Haako can see it, and he's taken out with some commandos. And he's just left his ships to deal with the infantry over here. KFC's bringing in some navy units. It seems like we're at a pretty much at a stalemate right now. Got some submarines coming in. It's going to be who can control their units better in this case, or who can keep their economy growing. He's switched into artillery, and it looks like has KFC built some more structures on that island. He has. He's got a couple of structures built there. Try to increase the numbers of his units. However, it looks like they're just straying in one at a time. He might be able to take this structure out though with just a few units by the looks of it. He's hiding some units over here. He's got some units going through the forest there to increase his stealth. And I think if he needs to, he probably needs to take these lines away so that he can build up units again for a second attack. Because these SAM units are going to come in and try and surround these units, and they're probably going to successfully take them out. And he's got extra units coming across by boat as well, so see units collecting up here to try and attack on this area. We have the strikers taking out their target over here. Nice little cruiser to be killed there. And we have the rocket nearly ready once again. There we go. So he's turned off the lines. I think he's going to bring his units back, or he's just going to leave them there. That rocket is firing straight away again. He's probably going to hit this area, try and clear him out so he can take back the island. That's what my guess would be. Looks like that's where it's going. But I think Haako predicted that and he's taken it out with the SAM units he's put there. Missile ships, should I say. So, Haako avoided that rocket with the missile ships on the water, I was going to say on the ground, in the water, intercepting the pathway. That was a pretty good plan there from Haako. Hako's now sending his units across by sea and air, straight over to KrazyFlyinChicken's main island. His original starting location was about here. Got some navy units coming down, trying to attract the attention down in the south. Looks like KFC isn't responding too much just yet. We'll have a look from his side of it. Haako's bringing his units back out here. He's going to try and take out these units next, I think. He's got some sea units coming in. Submarines. And he's got his interceptors trying to clear up the ground on this island so he can take it back. KFC has responded to the ground units. He's going to bring his units across around here. His commandos are coming here for this transport ship, boat, plane, thing. You know what I mean? And his other infantry are coming up to this area to try and take out this group here. But these commandos are going to go somewhere. Not quite sure where yet, though. This way. So they're going to come to this island over here. They're going to try and take over that. And it looks like he's got a plan with transports over here to take these over as well. Got the Navy battle persisting over in this choke point, which is probably not a good place to attack. It's a very good place to defend. The amount of management both of these players are having to do throughout this entire game is quite insane. And it looks like Haako's main target should be this location here. I think he's just focused on the economy for now. He's taking what he can get. He's not too worried with the rockets, since last time he did destroy it before it landed, so. But I don't think it matters too much. When these units are clumped up like this, they're going to be hard to stop. And KFC is sending his units in one single line. He needs to spread this line out. Maybe like click it, press E a couple of times, and you'll spread it out into like 2 or 3 lines, maybe even 5. And they'll go up as more of a proper formation. But it does look like KFC has stopped the production of this rocket, so he doesn't want to fire another rocket after that. Which is still a bad thing, because this structure itself costs a lot of money over time as well. So you should probably destroy it if you don't plan to use it again. So we have Haako putting up the pressure in the south and on land. KFC is going to try and push forward on the ground. And that he's just found a load of submarines as well, so this area is highly defended and a very good place to defend with. I don't think Haako spotted the advance here, otherwise he might try and pull these units in a bit further. Because I think those are being outranged. And those cruisers are getting some free hits on those units without Haako being able to push back. There we go, we've got one ship going down. These cruisers aren't taking that much damage anymore. What's happening in the south? It looks like Haako is going to be able to take out this energy well and barracks once again. And he's realised out what's going on over here. He's bringing all of his units in to try and take over this choke point so that he can keep control over it. But it might have been a little too late, as those cruisers have a lot of range and they were able to outrange those units and take them out quite quickly. But Haako has lost this ground section, and KrazyFlyinChicken is going to be able to take that back from him. However, it did do a lot of damage, even to the economy. So let's have a look at the economy now. They've both got a lot of units and stuff, so KFC is on 1,200 per minute, and Haako is now on 1,200 per minute, so they are pretty even. It wasn't that long ago we saw the perfectly balanced stalemate, and it looks like it's happened once again. I think Haako is reinforcing this area as well as he can. I'm not sure if it's enough firepower to stop KFC though in this area, and I think that is going to be a big problem for Haako. But he's bringing in his helicopters now. He's going to see how much damage he can do while he's still got control of that area. And those helicopters are very weak in defense. They're going to go down really quick if they don't get out of there, but they do fire quite fast as well, so they are going to do a lot of damage. But I don't think Haako has a sizable navy anymore, apart from over here, which is way too far out of position to defend him with. However, KFC's little fleet over here is, well, it is little now, it wasn't originally. I think it is going to be stopped here. I don't think it's going to be able to get much damage done. Might be able to take out this structure as it's already weak. Which it did already. I think KFC's done that, Haako's done that on himself. Otherwise I just completely missed something going on there. We've also got some submarines hiding out there. Actually no, that would have been what it was then. That's KFC's submarines that he snuck around the back. Where did they come from? You can barely see up here, but you can still sneak the submarines around there. So those submarines are going to be able to take out these structures quite easily. A nice little diversion there from KFC. He's using the submarines to attack from behind. He has set up a nice line. He's even using the transport boats. He's literally gathering anyone and everyone with a boat here. Try and defend this location from Haako. We have a transport that got heavily damaged trying to go over here. I'll land that. Those submarines are going down. He's striking this area and this cruiser's getting a lot of damage on him. I'm pretty sure one cruiser can take out 2 submarines, so I think these guys are down now. And all of these infantry that are accumulating over here are going to be taken out eventually by this one cruiser that they can't shoot at. He's bringing them back though, it's fine. Have I just missed a rocket? Where did that rocket come from? Haako must have a rocket somewhere and I've just completely missed it. Managed to get it to hit over here, so I feel like I've completely missed a rocket. If you spotted it, let me know where you saw it. Yeah, I don't see any other rockets anywhere. But I do think we've completely missed a rocket. Focusing on what's going on up here. It looks like Haako snuck in a rocket somewhere. It could have been on this island and it's being attacked now already. I think he might get this if all of these units were going towards it, but I think maybe that Sam can defend it. I don't really know. Trying to check to see if Haako has any secret land anywhere that I can't see. Nonetheless, this submarine's not going to last much longer there. He's gone down now. And KFC's trying to keep the pressure that he had over here, but he's lining himself up straight for this artillery that's right there as well. There we go, KFC's got his structures up and running here. He's built up some artillery, and I think this might be just enough to take it out if no air units intervene. But obviously we've got helicopters coming in, so they might be alright on their own. He does have a strike command here, which I'm not sure if it's for air units. I can't see any units attached to that, so it could just be for these artillery, and if they get dragged off, they're not going to be firing as they move. I think KFC's just spotted some extra land potential over here, so he's going for that. He's still building up some submarines coming across this top island here, coming down there. I think he's hoping Haako doesn't notice that and bring them back in later. These units are being taken on by some submarines, which are not going to last much longer. Haako has lost all vision in this area now. Transports seem to have dropped off some extra commandos in this area to help enforce it. Strikers have found a stray missile ship and they're going to take that out pretty easily. And now down it goes. Takes 4 hits. No, 6 hits from a striker. There we go. They're just going to circle that area, I think, and try and destroy those production structures. Which is going to be a waste of money for Haako at this point. At least they were built though, they did earn him something. Don't know if it was valuable enough though, but it looks like Hako's applying the pressure in the north. And he's got his units moving in through this area and he's chasing away 3 cruisers. with a fairly sizable force here. He's got a scouting submarine going through over there. But we know that there's submarines up here from KFC, so I wonder if he's bringing those down now in response. He is, yeah. So he's going to be able to see what's going on here and take out anything that's been left behind there. Which is not a bad idea. Those cruisers, because they're firing like this, it looks like they're going to take out a lot more than previously thought. And he might actually survive this just purely because of the firing lines. Nothing else I'm missing. I don't want to miss another rocket. Right, we've got a Navy fleet coming down in the south over here. Trying to apply the pressure on this island here to take it. I think his hope is to try and destroy the economy over here, which he's pretty much done already. And it looks like I was wrong. These cruisers are going down, but I think that's 2 new cruisers that I didn't see before. And the artillery over here did not manage to succeed in this area because those helicopters came in, I think, and took them out. I think those submarines might have been spotted by Haako. Yep, his SAM units can see them. And you can see those submarines trying to take a nice little scouting trip around. But they have been spotted. They are going to be attacked by this little fleet over there. Haako has one in the north up there. He has a big army to fight down here though, both on sea and air units. But Haako has an insane amount of navy yards trying to produce units for him. I wonder if KFC started the production on that rocket. He has, so he did plan to use it again. But due to the length of time he had it, I think he may as well have destroyed it and rebuilt it later. Might have been the cheaper option. So we will have another rocket in this game soon. But that rocket is costing KFC a lot of money and he's struggling to earn it back. Some units have been caught off guard here. Haako's taken them out quite nicely. It looks like KFC's units are quite spread out here. So if he brings his navy this way, he's going to have a hard time trying to bring them back up. We have these units going across here now, and they're going to spot KFC's extra navy yards there. Oh, the submarines already have. So we have some submarines over there. Strikers are going in to take out the submarines, but that has put a hole on this trade route, which by the looks of it, the submarines already took out at least 1 boat. So I remember there being 2 there earlier, but there should have been more by now. So those submarines have really hurt KFC's income. That rocket is now ready, so I wonder what he's going to do with that rocket. So far, his rockets haven't really gained him anything, but they have been causing a lot of damage, so you have to keep that in mind. But it looks like KFC is going to take out this section of Haako's forces, and they are literally base trading around the map soon. KFC can get his units in there quick enough, he'll be able to start taking out this production, which Haako is already doing up here. He's going to take out not only the navy yard, but he's also going to be able to take out this town, rendering this whole trade route completely gone. He is bringing some units in, but it looks like Haako's going to be able to take out that town before those units get there. And over in this section, Haako's building up his units, not sending them in one at a time, ready for them to come to him. And I hear a rocket. There we go. This rocket is pretty much to deter, but it looks like there's enough anti-air in the area. It might hit. Yep, it will. There we go. He's done a lot of damage again. But there was no energy well this time, I don't think. Maybe there was. He's building it already. There we go. So we've got these guys. Probably will take this lot out, actually. But they are being reinforced every single time, the longer it takes. Haako was successful at taking out this town, so even though he's lost his navy over here, and he probably will lose these 2 units too, that was definitely a successful attack for him. And KFC should probably have waited to build this. Kill out Haako and then get rid of his vision, then build it so he has no idea whether you built it again or not. But now he knows that if he can get back in there, he can earn his money back pretty quick. But these units have finally come around. They've managed to get into this little area of the game, area of the map, and he's bringing some more units in, but there's a lot of submarines following him. However, he does have quite a lot of cruisers in this area, and they're going to be quite good at taking out these submarines. Got another one back in the map. He's got no more reinforcements, so this is his force in this area. But he might be able to take out all of these navy yards before that becomes a problem for Haako. I mean, before it becomes a problem for KFC. I forget which one I'm looking at, sorry. So, he's taken out 2. He doesn't have any more units over there, so he can't start producing more up here yet, because he's still building this navy yard. He does have... KFC has some ships over here already that he could bring in and see this. You may even see it already with some submarines that he might have up there. KFC may be controlling the ocean very soon. This is not a good sign for Haako. Let's have a look at the economy to see if they can actually recover from this. So Haako is losing economy now. So he was at 1,200 before. Now he's at 1,100. KFC must be gaining something somewhere. There you go. He's got an attack going on up here. And he's got 1,100 as well. So they've just hit each other's economy and knocked each other down a bit. So KFC is trying to keep this island, but he looks like he's under a lot of pressure there. However, he is putting a lot of pressure on Haako in this section, and he has taken him out of the ocean. He's even managed to put some commandos in this area, and he's trying to attack the city. He might actually be able to succeed in that. He's bringing them in by boat, so he's got more units to come. And that city is looking heavily damaged right now. Even if he takes out these commandos, but it looks like these cruisers might be able to shoot from this area to get rid of it as well. So yeah, I think it's actually going to manage to take out these commandos, but the cruisers are still going to... Oh no, it went. There we go, it's gone. And the cruiser's going to try and take up anything on the coastline there. He's going to try and do what he can there. Got more units coming in through this area. He's got this structure there he can see, but he's deciding not to challenge it. He's reinforcing this island. He has lost it. The KFC did lose this island, but he's now reinforcing it with some extra units from his main island. He feels confident enough that he can build some industry structures here, which is a bit of a risk. That is very close to the enemy, but he doesn't seem to have strikers. He only has helicopters, and they might be out of range. There you go. KFC's managed to reach these structures there. He's going to take those out. It looks like his pressure is all in this section here. He's finally going to try and destroy this before it becomes a problem for him. These units are trying to take over the section, but it's so hard to get rid of these artillery that are there. Especially with infantry, so it looks like he's bringing in his air units to try and help with that. Haako is not in a great situation here. And KFC is deciding not to go with a nuke again. He is taking it off production. Those strikers are not going to last too much longer there with the interceptors in the area. And those helicopters, but the helicopter has landed, so he's kind of vulnerable to the ground, but that's not a problem because those artillery and the infantry are taking him out. The infantry are in front of the artillery, they're acting like a meat shield for him. The ships that got through are now all gone. He is still trying to land units on the island now, but it doesn't look like it's going to be successful because Haako has enough units to stay in that area, and Hako's going to have to deal with 5 more submarines here. But that ship came from over there, so Haako is trying to be a bit more stealthy when it comes to his placement of these navy yards. It looks like this survived though, so even though the units came down this way, they missed the sub-pen because it's stealthed. Can't see sub-pens very easily. I can hear submarines there. Yeah, so KFC's submarines were undetected in this area and they're firing at this thing here, so that's going down. That's probably going to start really annoying Haako at this point. But Hako's submarines are doing the exact same thing, taking out random cruisers lying around on the map. Hako's noticed it. He's sending all the air units he can in this area, and there's a lot of submarines there still. So there's actually 6, not 5. And that Navy Yard is going to go down. There is no more Navy Yards for Haako at this point in the game. KFC is lining his units up across the map. He's found a great place to land on Hako's main island, and he might be able to hold up a ground assault here. He's got reinforcements coming in from down here. He's got another sub-pen there to build transports to get them across faster. I think he's probably got enough at this point. He's set up his trade route back up again. It looks like KFC is developing himself really well, but these submarines are going to get taken out by the air units, so Hako's going to still be a really hard opponent to take out in this game. He's got so many helicopters, they can easily shoot down pretty much anything that advances. It looks like Hako's built a navy yard on this side of the island instead this time. Striker's probably going down. Yep, there it goes. I think Hako's plan at the minute is mostly submarine based. Trying to be more stealthy with his attacks. He's trying to scout a bit more. He's definitely not out of the game yet, but he's going to struggle to stay in it if he lets this area build up. So Haako started building some industry here and he spotted some units coming onto the ground, so he's now going to have to deal with that before these even pay off. And this looks to be the range of his air units, so he's sending them there. He's going to drop off some commandos to help out by the looks of it. We've got attacks from strikers coming in over here, but this is heavily defended against air, so he's probably going to lose these strikers quite easily. There we go, they've gone down again. Probably not the greatest of attacks, and I think KFC is getting a bit overconfident with his position in the game, and he might be just trying to force the end of the game with some quick attacks, but it's just not working out for him. He's starting to lose some trades because of it. We can see more Navy units coming in down here to join this by the looks of it. But you could probably do with reinforcing this area a bit more, because these submarines are going to take out these units coming across. I think they are going to destroy those quite quickly. Can he see them though? That's what I want to know. He can. But they are going to get shot at by these cruisers. And by the minigun here, but I don't really think that minigun does much damage at all. Has gone down. And the submarines are now able to shoot this cruiser without being spotted now. Strikers are still going to come in this way. Just pulled them back? I think so. Yeah. Yeah, and KFC is still getting shot by these submarines. Is he going to destroy it though? Not quite. But he is going to try and level the playing fields when it comes to the production of sea units by using these submarines to try and take it out by the looks of it. That's what his current plan is, try to chip away at the enemy and get back into the game. He has a helicopter in the area, and that's a strange thing with helicopters, because their range is so short. Probably around this area maybe. But yet they can still travel further because they land in the ground and you can just send them again. So this is what Haako has left, this island up here and just this area here. And it looks like he has a lot of pressure from KFC in this section here. And he really needs to stop KFC getting a foothold in that area. We have 2 commandos versus 2 commandos here. That might be a hard fight there. But I'm going to say that KFC's got the advantage because this one fired at this one while this one was shooting him, so he got a free hit on him. There we go. So he's using his strikers up here to try and fend off the helicopters. And they might take that one out because that one's smoking already. Not quite, they just didn't have enough time to get there. He has taken out the trade route, so Haako, again, is still trying to chip away at the enemy. He's taken out these trade boats to make this economy here not really worth it anymore. And I don't think KFC has noticed that. The submarines are really hard to sort of spot in this game when it's like that. But, to be fair, KFC does have 1,400 economy per minute. Whereas Haako has 900, so he is like 50% ahead of him. Haako does need to pull something out of the bag right now to take over. But he is doing a lot of good trades at this point. A lot of Haako's attacks are probably better trade-offs than KFC's attacks. So he took out a couple of cruisers then, and he lost 1 helicopter, so that's not a bad trade. Whereas earlier, KFC was sending his strikers in this area, and they were dying before they could really destroy anything. Which is in favour of Haako again. And all these little things will help Haako win this match. If he ends up doing so. Look at the submarines there. Did those strikers spot them? I don't think they did. I can hear an assault going on over here. Submarines trying to get through this area, but KFC's built a wall. He's got a lot of infantry on the ground over here. All the way back on this island, he's got a lot of infantry that have just been maybe forgotten about. He could bring them closer to the front lines. Now, how's the advance going on over here? So he's got these, he's got a factory being built. And you also got to remember he's got this stuff here that is constantly producing and going to be transported by boat. So this area is going to get fortified pretty quickly. Haako seems to be focused on the north a bit too much, and I think he's forgetting about that south. And even if he's not, he might just be spreading himself out a bit too much at this point in the game. So he might be forced to only focus in this area of the map. But he's going to be trying to be cheeky, sending a transport boat over here. He's going to try and take over this island next, which is relatively undefended. So Haako might just need to get a couple of units there and be able to take it over. Those helicopters are trying to destroy any units that come here before they can get destroyed themselves. But Haako has a lot of units on this island here, so if he gets across, it shouldn't be too hard for him to take it over. That is if he gets across. We do have KFC trying to advance his units across. And we've got more commandos trying to fight over that little island there. And there are submarines in this area. I think KFC has spotted this. They destroyed this of his, so he's sending in some strikers to take them out. KFC has spotted this line here, but none of his units are going for it. He's got a submarine here that could be taken down this way to take him out. And KFC's got his submarine stuck up here again. He's building them up and sending them in, but the helicopters are going to take him out extremely fast this time. That trick is not going to keep working all the time. Haako has figured it out and he's stopping it from happening in the future. We have some more of these transports going through. And I've just spotted it. I could hear him, I couldn't see him. And I'm not actually able to see them, so commandos are going for this airfield and they might just take him out. Submarines are attacking this area again, so Haako is insane on the stealth right now. Submarines took out that. He managed to stop the commandos from destroying this section. But the submarines are getting through and they are trying to take out as much as they can. And it looks like those strikers are going to clear up this island for KFC. He's going to keep that section of the map. And he is slowly advancing his sea units up here, trying to get this choke point by the looks of it. And this is probably enough of a force to take on this section. Get rid of them and take on the helicopters and push him back even further. Have a look how Haako sees this. So you can see everything that's going on here. He's got enough units there to see everything. And it's got to be a concern for him right now. But he is being pressured in the north over here at this choke point again, but those helicopters are really going to help him here. And the interceptors will prevent any strikers coming in doing as much damage as they could. Looks like we have another attack on this airfield. We're going to have 2 commandos dropped. And again by this plane. And they're going to start shooting this straight away maybe. Yep, they're taken by the strike command, so they are going to take that out probably this time. Got 4 commandos here, it's gone. The next target is going to be this missile silo. And he was able to stop the units coming in too close. Which is fortunate for Haako. He's going to be able to push back against KFC. But KFC's main navy force is down here and they're pretty much doing nothing. You could start bringing them around if you have the energy, which I'm assuming he's going to struggle with. And that, just as I say that, he is. The KFC can pretty much see everything that's going on there, or had been going on there. And he is trying to attack down here. He's got his artillery moving in at the side here. Got infantry setting up a nice little defense there in case he tries to come around the back. Which is exactly what he's planning to do against Haako with his units down here. As these move forward, he's going to bring these units around the back. Anyway, did KFC save his silo? Has not saved the silo, but there's no units there to defend it, so he's bringing these guys up. Got some aircraft coming in. But if Haako tries to do that again, he might be able to take out that silo as well. So he sent his helicopters in first to do the initial damage, trying to do as much damage as quick as possible. And he's going to try and chase them with these guys. There we go, he's taken out enough ships there, he's taken out 3. Can he take out a 4th? Lost 2 helicopters so far, I think. Might lose another. Nope, that survived. He's finally spotted the sub-pen here. He's passed this about 3 times now, and he's not noticed it before. Okay, so he's going to easily take that out now that it's been spotted. But submarines have still been running riot over here. This is heavily damaged. You can see them trying to sneak off. They've attacked this now. They have taken away all of these trade ships and they have absolutely been destroyed. So if he's still producing them, this is not actually earning him economy at this point. It's just costing him economy. Keep producing something that gets destroyed 5 minutes later. So as he's being attacked down here, he's now bringing up his red army, red navy over here, coming up, trying to see what's producing it. Haako is bringing everything he can to the south now to try and defend against this onslaught of artillery at his main island. There is not much he could do. He could probably try and send his infantry into this area, so as they come through, you could try and rush them then. But that's about all I can suggest there at this point in the game. Anything that can be shot at the ocean's considered gone at this point. The energy while there's probably able to be hit by the cruisers. Haako's still trying to get across this water here. But unfortunately ran out of transport ships. So KFC is now focusing his fire on this energy well, like I said he could. And I'm pretty sure KFC has cleared most of this area up. He's got a cruiser just lying there right in the middle, doing nothing, but he's going to go for the energy now. So he's got a sneaky cruiser going around. The submarines are just checking around. He's trying to get a scout, see what's going on. What was that? There enemy subs there? No, he was taking out something though. So he's now going to bring the units here. He's going to try and take out as much as he can on that island, which is a lot of free kills. And at the same time, he is bringing up as much of this territory as he can. My personal opinion would be to try and take over as much of this island as possible, place down some more production, try and send in some infantry to see what's going on up there, and then try and attack with the artillery after if I deem it necessary. Or should I say not necessary, but possible. It looks like KFC has managed to save this, but it would have been better for him if Haako had destroyed it. Haako was to destroy that, it would actually increase his income because it would take away the upkeep cost of the structure. The commando's just firing through across the shoreline. I'm sure nothing's going to grow on this area again. There's artillery. So the Haako is bringing in his units, trying to get them into this area. But you probably should bring them into this area, wait for the artillery to be there, and then try and send them in at this point, because there's not as many that can fire at you at the same time. They'll be limited. But definitely building a lot of helicopters to try and take them out as they progress is definitely a good idea here. He hasn't built any SAM units to follow up with this army. At least I don't think he has. He did have some at the beginning. He does still have some there. They are following up. He's got some here. They're coming in slowly. But eventually these helicopters won't be able to do much because the SAM will just outright destroy him. But these artillery are going to be able to take on this infantry army. Haako is going to struggle with that, unfortunately. And KFC is searching around for any opportunity with his navy, and it's going to kill his energy supply pretty much completely. So he's got all of his units sweeping in from multiple different directions, just coming in around there. And at this point, you might want to just delete these lines, because they're not needed anymore. You just want to get your units straight into the battlefield, and this route's quicker. But it's important to note that KFC is doing this assault, but he's not taking it lightly. He's not just overconfident that he's won. He's still expanding through the map. And he's taking his time expanding, making sure that he does collect everything. And at the same time, trying to push Haako back into the final corner of the map. Did Haako claim this land? He did, and then he killed his units with a command there. So that command is just like the line commands at the bottom of the map, and when you press it and place it on the ground, you select which units you want to go in there, and they will die, and that helps with the upkeep costs, so you can get your economy back. Right, and at this point in the game, we are very close to the end. I'm just going to speed it up. There we go, so we're on ×2. We can see that Haako is struggling with energy. See smoke coming out of his aircraft eventually, every now and then, and this force here is struggling to get through this little section of the map now. But they are eventually going to get through this. I don't think there's much you can do about it, but Haako's sending in some commandos trying to go through the behind section. It looks like he's going to try and take out these, hoping that they are undefended. And you can see the units progressing forward, but there is a lot of SAM there. They're going to take him out before they even land. Or drop the units, you know what I mean. And Haako's bringing up units by boat into this section now. Not Haako, sorry, KFC. So he's coming straight from his reinforcement area and is bringing them straight over here instead, so that they get straight on the front lines. And that is going to cause even more problems for Haako as he tries to deal with this onslaught from here. The only thing slowing KFC down right now is his energy supply, which he could have probably done with some extra power plants throughout this game. It might have helped him during some of the battles. He's brought in some missile ships to help out with the air units, which is not a very bad idea. So Haako is really struggling now. He's going to try and bring in some units down from here. His submarines over here are going to try and take these out as they enter one by one because of the lack of energy. This might end up being a very good trade for Haako if he can get them all to fire at once and the energy for KFC diminishes, but no, it looks like KFC was able to get some energy going there. And I think Haako is about to lose his power plants. End of the match reached, so it's safe to say that Haako has lost that game, which is unfortunate for him. He is now out of the tournament. KFC has moved on to the next round, and this is the last battle of round 1, so thank you for watching. Look forward to round 2 soon. I'll see you around. There are 2 videos on screen right now. Feel free to click one, and I'll see you there.